Okay, so I'm here with Scorpio Moon. Moon and Scorpio people. Okay, so Moon and Scorpio people, they're going to be not really verbally expressive, okay, in close relationships. As a matter of fact, you might not necessarily know what they're feeling unless they just absolutely trust you. And they may want you to be able to communicate with them or understand them on a personal level that's more intuitive instead of talkative, okay? So they're not going to be sitting up there trying to have full-blown conversations. I'm not saying that they can't, but not, especially not with people that they don't know. On a more personal, intimate level, I feel like they do. They are able to have conversation, but they're not going to voice every little part about themselves. They're not going to voice all of their feelings. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to want their partner to understand them through observation and intuitiveness, just like they will do their partner. Okay, they're emotional. Even though, like the Scorpio moon sign men, they may not speak about their emotions. They may just disappear. They may back away when they have a problem or something they're trying to work through. As a matter of fact, they could lose when they're having in a intimate relationship or close relationship, when they're having other things that they have to focus on. It may seem like they're neglecting the partner, but it's not that. It's just that they are so passionate towards a certain direction that they may have to put the partner not on the back burner, but like set the partner to just like, hey, I can't really focus on everything you got going on right now because I got to get this done. But it's usually most of the time to benefit the partner as well. They're going to be loyal and dedicated in a relationship. Okay, so it's hard for them to get in relationships, or if it's easy for them to get into the relationships, it's hard for them to leave out. And if it's hard for them to get into the relationship, just know it's because, or like a real serious commitment like marriage or something, it's because they know that it's hard for them to go through a breakup. And because it's hard for them to go through like a breakup or such a big loss, they got to make sure that you're going to fit the bill. They'll put you through tests. They will leave you. You will feel like, oh my gosh, I thought you loved me, or I thought you wanted this. And then all of a sudden, it doesn't matter what they have set up. You guys could be living together. If they feel like, okay, I'm not definite on this, or they feel like they're trying to test you in a certain type of way, Pluto will rear its ugly head, destroy everything just to build it back up again. It's very important with a Scorpio moon partner, Scorpios period, but Scorpio moon partner, that you let them go. Okay? Because they have to be where they want to be. They have to feel like you're their soulmate. They have to feel like you are something very important to them. And they only really figure it out when they have time away from you to figure it out. And if they figured it out before that, just know that through the course of the relationship, you will be, it could be tumultuous. But yeah, you have to observe them. You have to be put in that time to want to get to know them. You have to be somebody that's pretty big-hearted and strong, okay? Independently strong. Because when they're going through those ups and downs with their emotions, you have to be able to keep yourself going. You have to be able to stay afloat with yourself. You have to be able to remain independent so that it's not affecting you. Like, you have to be able to know, like, okay, yeah, they do this secretive stuff. I'm not really going to know. And you have to be fine with not knowing. With a Scorpio, you have to be fine without knowing, because it's kind of almost like you got to know what you know. But the only way you're going to know what you know is if you let them go, if you put the time in or you invest in them. And you might want to not necessarily, Scorpios is all about the sexual experience, right? But a lot of times what happens with people when they involve themselves sexually with a Scorpio, since Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Pluto is all about transformation, the person is going to want to tend to attach themselves to the Scorpio. Like I even said in one of my other videos I did about Scorpios, even when a Scorpio does not want to be attached to you and they don't really know how to say it, the person or the people or whatever are going to feel attached. Just like a Scorpio, now you see why they're attached, because it's their ruler, it's Pluto. And because of the transformational situations that they create and provide for a person, it's very necessary a lot of times, or it may be necessary that if you really are interested in like a Scorpio, especially like, and I know it's hard to find out whether it's a Scorpio moon or what. It's kind of, it's best to be as detached as possible. It's best to not go there with them sexually just yet, and let them kind of get to know you, and remain, don't approach them so aggressively. Like, be able to be the subtle person, like you're there, but at the same time you're kind of like not there, you know. That gives them the time to rebuild that passion, because they lose it. Okay, and they seem passionate for a while, and then they seem like they're disinterested, but it's because they got to deal with their feelings. They got to process things, and you have to be strong enough to be able to endure that, because they can be very confused. You have to know who you are as a person. You cannot let them and their behavior and their emotions shake you. Okay, and the person that's able to carry on this way about themselves, and can stick up for themselves, and can vocalize themselves in a way that's not over the top, but it's getting the message across. You know, they're very sensitive, so little things can hurt them. They're private people, you know, or they're private even in their relationship. So a Scorpio moon is definitely very passionate, loyal, very loyal, because they're gonna want to stick in for a long course. I ain't saying nothing about them just not ever cheating, because a lot of people like to think that Scorpios never cheat. I will say this though, it depends, but I will say that they're loyal, they're dedicated, they are very passionate, they're secretive, they're intuitive. They like intuitive communication and closeness. And that's all for now. Until next time.